Hello and welcome to another Sports Talk with me, John Sinclair. We're talking basketball tonight. Leicester Riders made a great start to the season, albeit they had a 2-week break between games. They're 3-0 for the season. I'm pleased to say that captain Barry Lamble joins me, and from America, Jay Couisnard, the forward as well. Barry, obviously ideal start to the season, but I guess looking back on the Lions game, the last game, it was a tough one.
Oh yeah, it was a tough one, especially in the first half. But we went into half-time knowing that we could win this game if we played our game. But over the whole season, I don't think we've played to our potential yet, but we're still 3-0, which is always a positive.
I think that 2-week break was probably useful, wasn't it, given the fact that the guys only been together for a short amount of time?
It was useful for us to get to know each other more as a team, and also useful for us to get more conditioning in, because I think we missed out on that in the first couple of weeks because the Americans arrived in a little bit later than usual. So it was good for a couple of reasons. So yeah, I'm happy with those 2 weeks off.
And what about the captaincy? How did you take to that, and how did you respond to being asked to do it?
It's a big honour because I've been here for a few years now. It's nothing I ever really expected to have as a player, but yeah, being the captain of Leicester Riders is a big organisation that's been in the league for years. It's a huge honour.
And I guess you're more involved in what goes on in practice, are you? What do you do aside from on match day, if you like?
A few more secret talks with Rob, the secret text messages and stuff like that, but no, it's the same as I've been doing for the last few years, but I think Rob's realised that it's quite a good thing to have an English player who settles the Americans in, tries to settle the Americans in. And I think it's not much has changed for me personally, but it's good to have that title.
That is kind of your role, and everybody I speak to at the club says, Barry is the one that welcomes us, gets us settled in. So obviously it's something you naturally do, is it?
Yeah, I think it's just second nature. It's the way I've been brought up. But I don't know if it's more settling them in. I just abuse them, make them feel like they're at home back in America with their family and friends. So it's just the same as I do everywhere.
You're originally from down south. Do the family come to watch you any time?
Yeah, they come up now and then. Parents came up this weekend. Mum always makes sure she bakes for the guys, treats them as their own kids, and makes sure she gets a lot of goodies for them. Yeah, but it's quite rare for them to come. But they always come to the Plymouth games because it's quite close for them.
Jay, how useful is it having a guy like Barry when you've come first time actually outside the States for you, isn't it?
Oh man, it's terrible. It's terrible. My nickname for him is Scary Barry, man. Just driving around with him, it just sets the tone. He's aggressive, dangerous.
He drives too fast.
Too fast. Walks too fast too. So, but no, it's good having Barry around. He shows a lot of good things, and having him on the court with us as well, he helps us out. Even if we missing something or not getting some barriers that'll, get our back and tell us what we need to know.
So how did the Leicester approach come about for you? How did Rob get in touch with you?
Rob got in touch with me through my agent. I can't remember when, but Rob, immediately after talking to my agent and talking to Rob liked me so much that he called me the next day, and it was a done deal with that.
So you have to think too hard about leaving America, or is it something you wanted to do anyway?
It was something I wanted to do. I always wanted to do it, and I set out last year, so because of family issues. But after that, I always wanted to go abroad and play basketball, not only for basketball, but just for my life, to get outside the state.
And you were telling me that you've got a family who play basketball. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I got a brother that plays. He's on the NBA circuit. I have a sister that plays, a younger sister. She plays at the University of Tulsa. And my brother's birthday today, so happy birthday, PJ. Happy birthday. And my sister's birthday was last week, so happy birthday, lady. So it was my family, man. And I got another brother. He plays baseball, but he's not playing right now, though. So.
And your father played a bit of sport too,
My dad played for the Phillies, so he played 1 year in baseball. So yep, sports all around.
So did you play baseball and American football as well then?
I played football. I played quarterback, but I had to stop to play basketball because I didn't want to play for the team that I was on. So I had to stop and just strictly basketball.
And before coming to Leicester, you played obviously at college. So tell us a bit about what happened there.
I played at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. I had a good career. I averaged a lot of points and was the leader of the team. So we won the most games that we won in like 10 years. So I had a well career in America. So.
And what did Rob say about coming to Leicester? Did he kind of prepare you for what you might expect?
I know that we had a good team last year, and I knew about Drew, and I knew about the guys, and I knew it was a good team that won a lot of games. So my goal for this year was to win the championship, and so that's what all we really talked about.
And you'll be pleased with what happened against the Lions, 28 points on the board, because I think people have been saying he can score, but we've not seen evidence until
Yeah,
now.
I've been missing a lot of shots. And I talked to you before the game. I told you that I only made shots at the stadium we play at, so that was a blessing to get my shots off and make some. So now I feel like I'm kind of in the rhythm of making some shots now.
Yeah, but it's good to be 3-0. And I suppose in a way good to have a difficult game that you end up winning, because it shows character in the team, doesn't it?
Winning a game when you play bad is really good, because you know that's showing that you're really not doing the things that you meant to do, and you still win and win comfortably. So can't argue with it.
And it's a group that's settled, Barry. My impression is it's a group that's settled very quickly.
I think from day one, actually, when the guys came in originally, everyone seemed to get on and generally get on. We've got no egos in the team this year, but we haven't for the last couple of years. Rob's always good at recruiting players that like to play basketball and are good at playing basketball and that don't have the ego. So it makes it a lot easier to settle in as a team.
And for you, there's a new responsibility, the academy. So what role have you got there? You're kind of looking after them?
Yeah, I take the academy up at Charnwood College, and I coach the guys pretty much every day up there now. I mean, we've had 6 games, haven't lost a game yet. Had our first Division 4 men's game, so a few of my under-17s are playing in that league, and they played really well in that, once again undefeated. So yeah, I've taken on the role of a bit more of a coach for the upcoming players. And
of course, we've got Andrew Sullivan doing a bit of coaching too, and that must be good for players, because you're kind of on the other side and get to understand what Rob Paternoster is going through, perhaps.
Well, yeah, probably not quite on the scale of Rob, or we don't make it out to be the scale of Rob. But yeah, it is. It's a different view, and it's quite nice to be in on the sidelines and actually coaching the guys to try and get them to do what you want to. And I know how frustrating it can be for people like Rob now. But Drew and I are in close contact, because a lot of my guys sometimes go to his training sessions and they might play up into his team eventually as well, get a few minutes there. And then the whole plan of it is that they come up into the Riders.
And it's good to have this relationship with Loughborough College as well, because it's all about trying to improve the standard of British basketball players. Obviously, we've just had the Olympics, and we're now thinking about qualifying for, to play in the Olympics outside of London for the first time in Rio.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, having the whole of Loughborough as a setup now, so we've got the college, we've got the Charnwood College, we've got Loughborough College, Loughborough University, and having the whole community together involved just wanting to play basketball, it means we can try and scout as much talent as we can and hopefully get them to those Olympics up in Rio. I
mean, it's a good talent at the club. Jamal Anderson, a lot of people talking about him, Connor Washington as well, and it's good to see those players, getting some time on court.
Yeah, Jamal and Connor have obviously been, well, Jamal's, a couple of years each now, and they've been always working hard in practice, and it's only a matter of time before they get time to shine in games. And as Connor proved this weekend, comes on 5 minutes, changed the game around for us personally, I think. Quick 5 points and made them work hard on the defence. But Jamal's had a great start to the season as well, but we knew he'd be the same if he got given a chance.
And Jay, I suppose, British basketball players, you get an impression of the standard, although you're playing against fellow Americans, I know, but obviously you'll get the fact that British players are trying to improve all the time.
I mean, yeah, they are good young guys, It's fun playing with them. Like you said, Connor and Jamal and them is just a blessing to have somebody that young and know what they're doing and playing with them. I think we got the best British players, like the young ones, in the league, I think, so far as I've seen.
Yeah, enthusiasm as well is kind of what you need, I think, to get you through, isn't it?
So, yeah, they bring that energy and that excitement whenever they do get in. They show have it at practice, so, yeah, I mean, it runs through the table from 1 to 6, all of them, all 6 or 7 of them, so.
What about the routine of a basketball player? Because obviously you train perhaps in the morning, perhaps in the evening, but what about the rest of the time? What are you doing with yourself?
Sleep and resting. Sleep and rest and take care of your body. You got to sleep, rest, and eat well, and that's the main 3 things you got to do being a basketball player. So.
Had a look around the Leicestershire a little bit too, perhaps?
We've been to the center and a couple of things, so the market and all that, so it's been cool.
You have to watch they don't get up to the wrong things, Barry. Perhaps.
Oh, I've warned them away from a few places, but, they're men, and let them deal with it themselves now.
OK, obviously you got the first double header of the season coming up this weekend. It's home and away. Is that better, really, than being away first and then coming home? Is that the way you prefer it?
Personally, I prefer it away the first day than home the second day, because it doesn't matter what time we get home on the away game the night before. It means we can have a lie-in a little bit, because it's quite tough for some of these guys who play in 30, 40 minutes a game. It's tough to recover the body in that time. Whereas we play late on Saturday this week, and we leave to go to Durham at 9 o'clock, I think. So it's a quick turnover, but it means you really got to look after your body.
And what about Worcester going into that game this weekend? Paul James, former Leicester Rider. It's seen as a Midland derby, although probably some people would disagree with that. But that's kind of the way it's sold, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, other than Sheffield, they're probably our closest team now, what with Milton Keynes being down in London. So it's a little bit of a rivalry, I suppose. But as you say, Paul James from Leicester. So they're a tough team this year. He's recruited well. We've been watching them over the last couple of days, and they've got some tough players in it. So yeah, it will be a good game.
And I guess you get to learn about the teams as you go along, pretty much, Jay, apart from the scouting report you get from the coach.
Yeah, I mean, we only learned about 3 teams so far, and it's the 4th team. So the scouting is good. It's kind of back at home. You know, they break down the players and break down the team, break down what they do. So it's cool. I mean, so far the 4 teams that we have scouted, I mean, it's worked out well. We know a lot of stuff going into the game. So
your first experience of playing a competitive game, a proper game, if you like, at the John Sandford against the Lions, was it better than you expected, perhaps?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it wasn't better than I expected. We expected a tough game. I mean, Coach prepped us up for that, and all the players, they prepped us up for that. So we knew it was coming at us, but I mean, as far as the competition and everything, I know it's going to be good competition. You're playing professional basketball, so you can't take anyone for granted.
What about the Leicester crowd? They're a bit special.
Oh, I like it. I love it. I love the kids. I love the adults and everything. I mean, everybody's into the game, and it's fun. It's fun seeing them help us out when we need it, because we needed it last game. In the first half, we needed it, and they did a good job with that.
Yeah, John Fraley, BBL Team of the Week for the 2nd time already. You're pretty friendly with John. I mean, just tell us about him as a player.
Shout out John Fraley. He wanted me to do that, but he's big time. I mean, in the post, Barry guards him every day, and it's just, I know it's tough for him because he's like basically unstoppable once he gets 2 hands on the ball as low as he gets. So, I mean, John just one of a kind. He's gonna be on that Team of the Week a lot of times because he's so efficient. He makes everything. Last week he made a running hook, so that tells you how efficient he is. So he makes everything.
And Barry, obviously you played in the same position as him, so that's kind of restricting your minutes a bit. Is that a bit frustrating?
A little bit frustrating, but I mean, when he's playing well and he's not getting in foul trouble and the team's going well, I mean, once again, it's a team sport. I'm happy to sit on the bench if he's doing well, and there's nothing I need to do, and I'll just cheer him on from the side. I mean, I've got cuts and bruises all over me from marking him in practice, so as long as I'm not guarding him in a game, I'm happy.
Yeah, it's good for the squad to have strength in depth, of course.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, we've got cover for every position. We've got 3 people for some positions right now, so it's real nice to have a strength, and I know if I come on, I can do my bit and give him a bit of a breather if needs be.
The Durham Wildcats away on Sunday, 2nd season for them. It was, I think, a tough season for them, but I think they've got improved players, improved squad this season.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I've seen a little bit of a Durham, not a great deal of them yet because we'll probably cover them on Saturday or Sunday on the road trip, but they've definitely improved their squad from last season. I expect him to be a tough fight on Sunday as well.
Yeah, strange start to the season. You look at Newcastle, already played 6 games, 1 or 6. You've only played 3. I think Plymouth have only played 2. So it takes a while for the league to look sensible, doesn't it?
Yeah, it always seems to work out like that. I think last few seasons we seem to always play less than any other team in the first few weeks, and then it catches up just after Christmas. We have a lot of double headers, but yeah, it will take a few weeks for it to look some sort of normality anyway in the league tables.
And just before we go on to that, obviously a story this week that we may see a new basketball arena for the Riders at the Grace Road Cricket Ground. Obviously, a lot of work to do on that, but since Granby Hawes in the late 90s, it's been a problem for the Riders. Obviously, John Sandford's very good for you. There's only an arrangement till Christmas, but that'd be great to have a new home, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think I said it's been 15 years now since we had a venue which was called the Leicester Riders venue that you could call actually home. So having a venue at Grace Road, being with another high-level sport as well, with the cricket, it'd be great to partner up with 2, hopefully.
I mean, looking at the games this week, obviously Durham going to Sharks. Sharks bottom of the table, 0-4. You played them first game. They're struggling a bit, aren't they?
It surprises me that they're 0-4 actually, because I thought once we played them, they had some good players. They've obviously got the same coach, running the same plays, and it surprised me 0-4. But I think Durham are a good team, and they're always going to push them like that.
Obviously, they get a day off before playing you, which is going to be useful for them as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it probably will be useful. But if anything like last season for us, we usually played better on the second day than we did on the first day. So if that's the same, if we beat Worcester, hopefully we can play better again against Durham. We can beat them by more.
And Jay, 28 points. You're on a roll now. It's going to be.
Yeah, I can't wait to play again. You know? It's like when you shoot bad, you can't wait to play again. But then again, when you shoot good, you want to get out there and just hack at it again. So I can't wait.
Okay, so for the Leicester Riders this week, it's Worcester at home on Saturday at the John Sandford Centre. I'll be doing commentary on that game for PooCarNews.com. Away to Durham on the Sunday. If you want to look ahead a bit more, away to Newcastle the following Friday, the first game on satellite TV.